This podcast is meant for mature audiences only and contains strong sexual language. Welcome to Sex, Love, and the Black Experience with your hosts, mskikilove and MsNeshaB of Orgasmic Melanin Goddesses. We're just two dope sisters who love to talk about sex and give our amazing guests a platform to share their experiences and expertise as it pertains to sex, love, and the Black experience. So let's get started. Earpiece in. Remember the dude in the shot, the daddy? The shot, he always had that big ass earpiece in. That's what I always think about.
Hey, that was my mom.
All right, that's some old people shit, but I don't do you know, the ones that be hanging off your ears and stuff, or the ones that I be afraid they're gonna fall off the whole time.
Oh, the iPhone, the iBuds, pods, or whatever they call.
He brought the freak out of me. That's what happened. It's his fault.
No, it wasn't me. It was all.
He was the first one to get up and take his clothes off and chill.
So what we talking about?
Yeah, I ain't had no problem with that.
Our little play party that we had on Friday night. It was very exclusive.
It was hot. It was like a little
exclusive
taste
player.
of what's coming.
It was exclusive. It was very exclusive player. And it was just a few people that were there, and
that was the beginnings.
Yeah, it was the beginning.
Yeah. I could have had a lot more people.
No,
right.
it was.
But then you
perfect.
want to manage personalities. You don't know who's
right.
who yet.
Right.
So I was like, let me just keep it small. That way, because you don't know people's maturity levels and what they used to and stuff.
It was
the right grown people.
It was the right grown people.
You know what I'm saying? Because you know, some things happen, and you need
a lot of things happen. A lot of things happen, nigga. So
shoot, wait a minute, babe. I was so proud of you, Miss Sweetie.
Let me explain something to you, Jack. My expectations, I was not gonna do anything. Right.
Same here.
I was just gonna vibe, you know, whatever happens, cool. And
it was just a vibe there.
It was a very much vibe, but this man right here behind me, he does that to people. He brings that out of people and
makes people feel comfortable.
Very, very comfortable. Very comfortable. Fleek makes everybody feel.
Is that your superpower, Fleek?
That is his superpower. Because Fleek is all about vibe.
No, for real. So I'm big on like body positivity and people just to be comfortable with themselves and who they are. So I invite all walks of life to my events. Right. Some people focus on only getting the Victoria's Secret models and them. And like, nah, man, I want everybody to come. I want everybody to pull up. And it got a little steamy. It
did.
A little bit steamy.
I was dressed like a school teacher for the first part of the situation. We were just having a conversation. We were all vibing, food, everything was chill, and then it was time to do the massages. This was first time that my brother, right, got a massage for the first time. So explain to first of all, introduce yourself.
Wait, first of all, welcome to Sex, Love, and the Black Experience. Yes.
So, I'm your host, your co-host,
And we have a special guest.
Yes, we have a very special guest.
You want to introduce yourself, babe?
Please introduce yourself, brother-in-law.
Santee.
All right.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah,
That's my hubby, y'all.
Yeah.
We're newlyweds. We just
Yeah.
got married not too long ago.
Girl.
Honeymoon next week. Yay!
I love it.
No doubt, no
All
doubt.
about this black love, positivity around this motherfucker. You understand me?
Hello.
Right. So, what was your expectation, bro, for the play party? What were you thinking in your mind?
I didn't have any expectations. I think that would have probably been a problem, just to have an expectation. Just go in and just see what's going on, and
Okay.
whatever happens. And I had absolutely no expectations.
We really did. We said we just gonna be a clean slate.
Right.
And whatever happens, and it would have been cool, whatever happened.
Right.
Because the people there, it was still cool people. It was cool vibe. I like that we had some really good, deep conversations in the beginning.
We did.
We were really getting to know each other.
Right.
And then it popped off when the massages.
Yeah, so you guys had the massage first. I was taking photos and video with Fleet.
Right.
And I was dressed like a school teacher, like I said. And so me and Amanda were having a conversation. It was more like a therapy session. I bring that out of people. It's one of my
It's your superpower.
It is. It's one of my superpowers to just have those conversations. And we had like a private moment. It was really beautiful. It's like, you goddamn therapists over here having a therapy session. I'm like, yeah, that's what I do. And so we talked about trauma a little bit. And she didn't even recognize that what she went through was trauma. So it was actually a beautiful moment that you didn't even get to interact with.
Right.
But it was a beautiful moment. And so I didn't really participate in the play part. I really wanted to just be just self-aware of what was going on around me. And so when I got a massage, y'all thought I was asleep, but I was awake the entire time.
Really?
I was hearing the entire conversation y'all were having. But I didn't even get to see what y'all were doing when y'all got y'all massages, because I was in the room the entire time.
Yeah.
So,
but I want to go back to what you were saying about trauma. I think a lot of people don't think that sometimes there are sexual behaviors, you know what I'm saying? Things that they like, things that they do, things that they hold back from could be a result of certain traumas or things that happened in their past. Right. And so, you know, we don't think that that's a part of therapy or that's a part of, you know, things to work out so that you can have a better sex life. So the fact that you have that superpower is amazing, that you can bring that out in people and let them realize it, because sometimes you can break a lot of bondage from that, and they can move forward and be sexually free. Right.
And so, you know, when I was, you know, talking to her about certain things, and I was like, she didn't even recognize that it was trauma. She didn't even recognize that. I said, look at your body language. Look how you're tensing up. Just look at those things. Those are signs that you've been violated in that way. And I told her, I said, I am so sorry that you've been violated in that way. So it was a beautiful moment between me and her. And then she wound up getting a massage, and I just sat there, and I wound up taking a little nap. But I was reflecting in my nap, and I was reflecting on just the moment that we all got to share with each other. And then I walked in the living room, and I saw you getting a massage, and I saw Amanda getting a massage, and I was like, this is a beautiful moment. I'm not going to disturb the energy space. And then I got a massage. Y'all thought I was asleep, but I was awake the entire time. I was sitting there. I was just listening to everybody, and I was just vibing once again.
Just feeling the vibe. What I loved about the massages was that the masseuse, we got, what was her name again? Raven. Amazing. Amazing. So first of all, this was your first time getting well, it wasn't your first time getting a massage, but your first time in a very long time getting a massage, right? First of all, how was the experience?
Oh, no complaints at all. It was right on point. I will have it done again. Guaranteed.
It might not be like that one unless I'm there.
I'm just saying that, that was I didn't realize that my body was so tight. Because when she was giving me a massage, my body I can feel the muscles popping and it just, that's probably the best way to put it. I felt certain parts of my body just like pop, pop, pop. I mean, it wasn't like nobody heard it. You know, like when something happens on your body. It wasn't a loud pop. It's something that, you know, you hear yourself, but nobody else hears type of thing. But it had my body feeling great.
Yeah, but I like the way Raven taught us how to massage each other. Like that was very, very sensual. It was sensual. It was beautiful. And now I know like we can take that home and we can, you know, we can continue those sessions because again, everybody just thinks it's just sex, just get into it. You know what I'm saying? But like, if you want to create that whole vibe, you want to, you know what I'm saying? You know, sex begins just from conversation. It's not just we get into bed and we fucking kind of thing, you know? So that's sensual, the art of sensual massage. That was amazing. And then it was cool because it was like her hands were on you, my hands were on you. It was like, ooh, and you were, and then vice versa. Her hands were on me, his hands were on me, and it's like sets of hands like all over your body. That felt amazing.
It was another sense of sensory play.
It was, and then your eyes, you know, because your eyes were covered, and you don't know who, you know, who's touching you. You anticipate where they're touching you.
Right.
I was cheating though. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, he was because he had to cover over a little bit. He looking.
I was moving my nose. I was moving my
trying to see.
I'm trying to make the blindfold move up. And then when they did move up a little bit, I'm looking around. Oh, I cheated. I ain't gonna lie about that.
Whose mouth is that?
No, well,
you were the first person, brother, to get out of your clothes.
Right, but that's how he is. He's a straight up exhibitionist.
You were the first.
He don't give a damn.
Well, the thing is too, though, I'll say this is that I used to be very subconscious about my body because, well, growing up, I was like always the shortest person, the skinniest person. People would try to bully me. You know, when I was little, I had like, I guess you call it the Napoleon complex or whatever.
Right.
So I would literally go into school the first day. I would look for the biggest dude and try to punch him in the face.
Really?
Seriously.
To show, don't fuck with me.
Right.
No, that was my mentality. But now, you know, I actually grew.
Yeah.
I'm still skinny, but I grew. But sometimes, you know, now I'm just like, hey, this is my body.
Right.
It's not gonna change. It is what it is. So.
And that's the beautiful part about it. That's the beautiful part about growth. Is learning, understanding. Because I had insecurities too growing up because I was the tallest one in my class. I was the most developed out of all the girls in elementary school, hips and all that. So it was the opposite for me. So I was the bullied, right? Because I was tall, fat, dark skin. I never saw what other people
and look
saw.
how beautiful you are.
Yeah, no, like
absolutely gorgeous.
Not people always compliment me on my skin and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But growing up, I never saw that. Like,
but that took some time. You got to think about it. There's a lot of, like, even with weight. Remember, was Amanda when she was talking about how because the way she was shaped back in the day, it was like she was way smaller than she was, and they were like, "Oh, you fat, you this, you that," and now they can't keep their hands off of her. It's how society has changed because I was way smaller than I am now, and I was in the film industry. And I was just constantly like, and these were people who were my mentors, who were constantly telling me, how fat I was. And so it still impacts me to this day. I know when Santee and I talk, and I'm like, oh, you know, I have issues with my body. Being with Santee, the fact that he does appreciate my body, you know, and that I think that made me more comfortable even in that setting Friday, because I was like, you know, I'm with the man who loves me, who loves my body the way it is. And so I think that put me in a more relaxed mood. Maybe it would have been different if you weren't there with me. You know what I'm saying? Because I do still have some insecurities about my body.
Right.
But my baby makes me feel comfortable.
Well, and that's the most important part. And so because again, I'm very much an observer. And I sat there and I watched y'all, and I was like, this is beautiful. It's a beautiful moment, because I know me and you've had personal conversations about your fearfulness, especially around sex. And so for you to be that open and to trust me in that moment, because I did something and I was like, you know what? I'm going to step out of my comfort zone for a second. And I asked Fleek, I said, Fleek, I want to get in the shower. And he was like, you want to what? And I said, I want to get in the shower. He's like, okay, let's make it happen. So he grabbed the camera quick and he started recording me, and it just turned into this thing, and got into the shower, and I started doing my thing, and I could hear y'all, right? I could hear what was going on, but I was like, oh, okay. So I walk out after I'm done washing up and everything, because Fleek had already left. He got the shots that he needed. And then I saw y'all two, and I'm like, it didn't even.
It just flowed into that, didn't it? It just.
Because y'all were taking pictures in y'all Santa hat and y'all Santa outfit, because it's about to be Christmas time and shit, you know. And so I was like, okay, they taking pictures, and next thing I know, y'all are kissing, y'all sucking on each other. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, it was a vibe. It really
and then
was.
I went in the shower. I didn't even think that was going to even happen. None of that.
But that was, like you said, that's what happens when you don't have expectations.
Right.
You just go with the flow.
Right.
You read the room.
Right.
You like, okay, everybody here is grown.
Right.
And it got to a point where with us, it was like it was like nobody else was there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's how we felt.
Right.
And that was for me, that was really big.
Right.
I don't know how much you know how that was really big for me, because I have come a long way when it comes to sex and sexuality. Part of the reason why this is such a mission for me is because I had to break a lot of, chains and a lot of thoughts and all these things that was taught to me over the years about sex, and it made me very prudish. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it's like when you find the right partner, when you find somebody that you feel comfortable with, when you find the right business partner that helps bring things out of you, it's like, it's all about relationships, and I felt like I broke another chain Friday. You know what I'm saying? It was like, wow, I really did that, and I just feel a little freer, and it's amazing. So, and no telling what's gonna come next.
Yeah, no, I was really excited. I walked out and I had my towel wrapped around me, and I was like, I looked over to my left, and I was like, oh, okay. I sat on the bed because there was 2 beds in the room.
But girl, you was giving us sexy, girl, with the whole the towels and the shower and everything. I was like, get it, girl.
And so I was like, well, I'm ashy, so let me go on and lotion up. So I asked Fleek again, because he was recording y'all and doing what y'all were doing, and it was a beautiful moment. I didn't want to break that up. So Fleek, I was like, look, more product placement. Again, we're trying to, do
right.
Work. This is still work. Mm-hmm. So I was like, more product placement. So he was like, okay, let me watch you do, lotion up and all that kind of stuff. So
Right, and we knew the cameras were off of us too. So then we then we had a little time together, and then we got into it, and then the cameras came back, and it was like, okay, we doing this. It is what it is, and I'm really anxious to see the footage.
The finished product.
Just like 20. All I want to say is 2023 and 2024.
Yeah.
Look out, y'all, because it's a lot of stuff that we doing, and we really want to help people just get out of their own way. I felt like I had to get out of my own way and just really experience just sensuality and just loving myself and all of that, that I wouldn't, that I would have still been, had this all pent up. It's like letting that fear go. So we're going to have a lot of events that is just for people to just come and just be free. You know what I'm saying? Just come, be who you are. There's no judgment. And that's the vibe that we're going to have. So leave any judgment at the door. Our expos, our other events that we'll be announcing, and we'll probably even, have a calendar of events, and we want to have some regularly scheduled things going on as well.
Last night we did our Naughty Bingo, and we haven't done a live Naughty Bingo in almost 3 years. It's been since the Panorama Express pizza box. By the time the first time that we did Naughty Bingo was in February of 2020, and we only had just a little tiny group of people. And it was so much fun, and we had a great time.
This one was a very nice, intimate group, too. I think everybody had a good time. For us, we want to entertain, but we also want to educate. People got some really nice prizes. We're thinking about making this a regular thing, you guys.
Quarterly.
And, we put some people in some compromising positions. Some people got to try our arousal bomb, go in the bathroom and put it on their clit. And come back and describe how it feels.
It was a good time.
So
people bought products. People got some prizes.
The food was good. Bomb.
Shout out to Latoya Stacks.
Yes. I don't know how you push those.
Yeah, I ain't pushing not man around here.
That food was fire.
Right, Latoya. Shout outs to Latoya Stacks. That's my baby. Like when I tell you, like, she can fry some goddamn catfish. You understand me? And so,
you had cauliflower and it was good.
Yeah,
it was fried cauliflower.
Cook her ass off. And so,
shout out to the Elks too, because I don't think they knew what to expect, but even their regulars were looking. They were having such a great time. They were like, "Y'all got to do this on a regular and switch it up."
Because one of the regulars, he was just sitting there and just watching. And he came over to me and bought 4 hotcakes. He bought 2 hotcakes and 2 sugar daddies just from off the demo. So that's what I'm saying. So we really just wanted to say thank you to the Elks Lodge. They're celebrating, I believe, their 60th year or something, 50 or 60th year in being at that particular location, and so we just wanted to bring something a little different that what they weren't expecting. The DJ, he was just like, "Come back, come back," because y'all was hot fucking fire.
Right.
So we definitely are doing our 2023 calendar, and that's something that we're going to be doing quarterly for sure. Now that the world is opening back up again and we're able to move around a little bit more freely without all these restrictions and things like that.
But y'all still, you know what I'm saying? I know what was happening because during the pandemic, the sex industry, like the toys and OnlyFans, all that stuff was popping because people were bored. They needed stuff to do, or people were at home with their husbands or whatever. It was like, damn, I gotta, looking at this nigga every day. We gotta spice up some shit. Give me some spicy bags.
Our business exploded during the height of the pandemic, and we wind up getting some $1 million earners in our company for the very first time. So trust and believe me, It has been a wild ride, but it's been a great one, you know. So it was just amazing this weekend, as far as like what we've been able to do with not only Fleek and the team, and just everything that we've been able to do. Because I know we talk all the time. Me and this girl talk at least 6 to 7 times a day, y'all. Like, we talk so much on the phone, and she be just, nobody gonna come this.
Listen, okay. I'm the one that freaks out.
Yes.
Kiki is the one that's calm, like, sis, it's all gonna work out. But you know what? It's a perfect dynamic. Like, it's a perfect marriage, basically. You know, like our business partnership, I couldn't have it any other way. I couldn't have a better business partner. And because of that, I really see us, you know, this thing soaring. There's so many things that we want to do. We want to be, you know, there's a lot of people that are, we want them to unlearn some of the shit that they learned. We want to help people unlearn that shit. Okay. Right. We want to unpack these myths. Right. We want to, I mean, it's so much that we want to do, but we want to do it in a fun way. Right. Like that's our niche. Yeah. We like to have fun. We don't want to just sit and lecture. Now I'm going to tell you about orgasms. I'm going to tell you about stuff and throw out some facts and things, but we still want to make it fun. So we're so excited to just bring that to Arizona. And I think it's like, there's so many of us there. We're sprinkled all over in that are sex experts or in the sex industry. And it's all about collab. We learned that Friday, that collaboration over competition is everything, y'all. So if you guys are in Arizona and want to just partner with us, maybe you are a sex worker, activist, anything that has to do or related with erotica, sex and sexuality, you know, reach out to us. Our website is omgoddesses.com. Our IG and Facebook is omgoddesses20. Collab with us, because I think we can do a lot of awesome things here in Arizona. What I'm noticing, with a lot of the podcasts and a lot of the events and things that are going on in the East Coast and in Atlanta, they collaborate. Right. They join each other's podcasts. Right. They jump on each other's events, and they support each other. We could have some amazing events out here if we all come together and work together. And then what'll happen is that New York and Atlanta and LA, they will take notice and they're going to want to come here. But we got an announcement because we're doing in Tucson in February after our event. Yes. The following weekend, we are going to be doing a workshop with Sex Down South. Yes. So they're coming to Tucson. Shout out to Marla. Yeah, and we're going to do a presentation and 90 minutes. And it's going to be around sex toys and how don't be afraid of them, how they're beneficial. So we're really excited to partner with someone out of the area. And we want to put with our expo that we're doing February 17th through the 19th. We want to support the local experts here. We want to put them on the map and promote them so that this annual event will attract people from all areas, you know, maybe even international. That would be amazing. And have them come to Arizona, y'all. Not New York, not Atlanta, not LA, but they coming to Arizona. So definitely reach out to us, collab with us.
It was very exciting to get, because, you know, on our business line, because we have, you know, our business phone. And I looked at the number and I was like, who is this 415? I ain't answering this phone. So, and then she messaged us and I was like, what? Crazy. So, yeah, so we just got the announcement that we will be at Sex Down South for the Tucson edition. We're super
I think
excited.
They're calling it Sex Out in the Southwest.
The Southwest, yep.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be an amazing experience because I've been following Marla, oh my God, since 2015, 2016. So to actually get to meet some of my, I want to call sex idols, if you will, in the industry. This is just, again, I don't want to get emotional, but I'm going to get emotional. I'm going to cry after this because, I got to cry in the closet. I got to cry in the closet, y'all, because I'm a thug out here in these street corners. So this has just been an amazing, amazing thing, and I could not do any of it without my sister. I couldn't do any of this without her. So this is just truly, truly, I tell people all the time, I'm like, no, like, when you have a partnership and you know something is good, when you are really striving for doing the work, it's going to happen. And I tell her all the time, sis, don't trip. Dr. Pepper don't trip. Dr. Pepper don't trip. She'll call crying.
I know. I'm so frantic, but it's okay. But that's why you need people like this one right here too. Mm-hmm. He's very calm. Right. I'm the friend, and he be like, yes, he's very namaste. He be like, what? Just chill, babe.
Right, bye.
What you need? I be like,
right.
Damn.
Right.
But I need that.
Right.
I need that. The universe knew I needed that. Mm-hmm. I needed that energy in my life just to keep me like this. But we got you in here. Let's talk about, because we're older now. Yes. We're empty nesters.
Right. And fuck them kids.
Fuck them kids. What are we like? Fuck them kids with the baskets. Right. Fuck them kids with the baskets.
Yep. Fuck all them kids. Get out of my house.
Yeah.
You only coming in for like 2 hours max.
Now we spent some time with you. We love family. We want to spend time with family, but we love being together, just the two of us and having our time.
How does it feel to be a grandmother now? You're a grandma now.
Mm-hmm. I can't really. I mean, I can't wait to. I haven't met the grandchildren. Right. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. Danielle's super excited. My she's so. Oh, you a grandma now because she has a 3-year-old granddaughter. I'm excited. I know once I see them, I'm gonna be wanting to run to the store and get a bunch of shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I haven't had that grandparent experience where a lot of people, it's like it's totally different.
Because your two kids aren't
they grown.
Yeah, they're grown.
And they don't have children. No.
Right.
No.
They're still in their
and
20s.
They may not because they're considering it, which is fine. And it's okay. And I don't push it.
Because they're still in their early 20s and things like that.
Well, Cam is in his late 20s.
He's getting in the mid-20s.
But he, he does want kids. He said he wants kids. But so but I remember at first, both of my kids told me they don't want children. And I was okay with that. I wasn't the type of mother that was like, who you gonna give me my grandkids? I want them to enjoy their lives, and whatever decisions they make is whatever decisions they make. As long as they're happy, that's what's most important to me. But Santee was like, yep, you're a grandma now. Mm-hmm. So I look forward to meeting them. I'm gonna look forward to meeting his kids. I haven't met the children yet. The adult kids.
All of them is out the house.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to meeting his family, just because we're here in Arizona. Everybody's mainly in Detroit, Pittsburgh, stuff like that, California. So we'll go to California. So we're gonna meet everybody. We're gonna take a world tour. That's the cool thing about being empty nesters, is that we can just be like, where we want to go, babe. We just gonna get some plane tickets and go
for the weekend or something.
Yeah, so and we're rolling out our own thing where we're gonna kind of talk about that life, being empty nesters, and being just what do you do on this half of your life? How do you live your best life and just really enjoy it and enjoy it with each other? So it's gonna be awesome. So let's talk about you and just your developing, like how you became to be in your sex life, like just how you started and where you are today, and what are the things that happened in your past or whatever that has shaped you and how you are today. That's a loaded question.
Yeah, that was a lot right there.
But I'm gonna let you unpack that right there.
I ain't trying to unpack all that. That's a lot. I think where I'm at now, where I'm at now is just basically, I've been open to different scenarios, different situations. That's probably the only way I can really put it, is that I wasn't closed off in relationships, and also being able to wanting to please my partner. That's probably the most important part.
Right.
You have to know your partner. You have to know who it is that you're with. And because what you did with the one person ain't gonna ride with the next one.
Can't do with the next person. Everybody's different.
And why it's a lot of men that think, oh well, shoot, I done blew her back out. I worked, you know what I'm saying? I rocked her world, and then they think that they can take that same scenario, that same thing, and not switch it up.
Well, because
the
thing with that is because the woman will act like he really did something special.
And he didn't.
And he ain't do nothing.
Video.
Yeah, I just talked about this.
He didn't do it.
I tell women all the time, right?
Tell the truth.
Stop the fucking lying. If you know that his dick ain't big, stop telling, ooh, your dick's so big, that is the hugest thing ever in the universe. Stop that fucking lying.
Right.
Stop.
Because when they get a real person, you know what I'm saying, real chick like me, I'm gonna be like,
it ain't.
Then dudes will do the same thing, you know. It goes both ways, because
but it's about
instead
ego.
of being honest
it's about ego. And I think what it is women are afraid to really be honest and be communicative, because we've been taught in society that we're not allowed to be sexual the way that men are allowed to be sexual. And so unfortunately we have a lot of women out here lying, telling them that, oh yeah, you made me come, yeah. Knowing he ain't do shit from shoe pot. He barely tapped the surface, because you sitting up here lying, and then when they meet a real one like me, telling them the fucking truth, telling them, yeah, your stroke wasn't shit, bro. It wasn't hitting. It was. Well, and then they
the last one, everybody else told me. I'm like, well, them bitches lied.
I think it's in the man's manual. It's like, well, I ain't never had no complaints before. Yeah, you've never had any complaints because women have told you that it was good when it wasn't good.
Yeah.
Because we have been taught in society that we're not supposed to be like communicative when it comes to our sexual desires, because if we're labeled as hoes, or you know what I'm saying? So it's just this whole thing, and I just wish women would stop the fucking lying. Stop lying.
I think it's starting to change.
Women don't even know that they
what?
They don't even know
their body.
Well, yeah. I mean, you got a lot of women that have never actually climaxed either.
Right.
So they might have come, but they didn't actually climax. So they don't even know what's good and what's not.
Right.
Until they get into a situation, and then they're like,
oh man. Damn.
I still get women that are in their 40s, 50s, 60s.
Never had an orgasm.
Never had an orgasm. Never even played with a toy before.
Never masturbated.
You know, that's how I got started with this. This is the reason why I do what I do, because I tell this story all the time, and it gets me very emotional. The reason why I started into this business is because of my grandmother and my great aunt, her sister, her older sister. We were having a conversation, and we were talking about intimacy, and I brought up, and something just got in my head. I'm like, ask them. And so I asked my grandmother, who was 68 at the time, and my great aunt, who was 71.
Wow.
And I asked them, and I said, Granny, Annie, have you ever had an orgasm? They looked at me like I had 6 heads, foaming at the mouth. They were like, they both looked at each other, and then they looked at me, and then they looked at each other, and they were like, what is that? So I had to explain to 2 senior citizens who've had multiple children, who've been around the world multiple times, and they've never had that before. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother used to be a streetwalker. She used to be, you know.
Wow.
Yes.
And still.
No. No.
Yeah, because sex has become it becomes utilitarian.
Right.
Meaning like you just it's a duty.
Right.
You have people they never had an orgasm. They just I'm
Right.
married. It's my duty.
Right.
Or they think that it's only to please the man.
Right.
Well, as long as he come,
right.
that's all. Then I know that I've done my duty.
So when I told them, when I explained what it was, they looked at each other like, and then they looked at me and they said it both in unison. Oh, we've never had that. I was like, what? You've had kids. You've had husbands. You've had relationships. I said, what is that? And it brought tears to my eyes. It really did. It brought tears to my eyes that these two beautiful Black women had never experienced an orgasm before. And so it just prompted me to do more research and more understanding about what we do as a community. Sex is not a part of our conversation as Black people. Sex is not a part of our everyday, all day, because first, we're Black, so we already have a layer on top of that. And dealing with America and dealing with what we've gone through in our history, sex has always been a negative connotation when it comes to our community because of what we've been through. We can sit around and act like it didn't exist, but it did. Slavery is a huge part of why we act the way that we act. So we can't sit up here and say that it didn't happen when we know it did. And they bred us like cattle. So literally sex was cattle to the slave master. You know what I'm saying? So sex, like dealing with BDSM, like even when we were talking about it last night.
And the girl was like, slavery over. You ain't tying me up. Slavery is over. I was like, whoa.
but that goes back to our mindset as a people.
Right.
And what we internalized about what BDSM is. People think that BDSM is for white folks because that's all they see. That's all they know. They don't see people that look like you and I doing BDSM and being pleasurable, right?
Or just like Friday when we talked about how men are about don't tie me up, don't handcuff me. Where when for Black men, being handcuffed is going to jail. That's what you think about. There's nothing sexy about that. So it's like changing that narrative and changing that conversation about first trust, because BDSM and all of that is about trust with your partner, right? Communication, and then looking at it from a different perspective and making it pleasurable. But you're right. And then when you look at porn, Trevor Noah, The Daily Show, they have a behind the scenes and they did a whole segment on racism in porn. And a lot of that stems back to what you were talking about to slavery times and stuff. So now the names of porn is like, this, the niggas in my daughter's ass, you know what I mean? These crazy ass stereotypical names.
Like people don't understand how racist porn and the porn industry is, and the violations. Like BBC is still a thing. Like, and when I explained, I was at.
And what's BBC? In case some people don't know what that is.
Black cock, right? So that is. I
hate that word, cock.
That's a slave terminology, right? That's like just like BIPOC, just like all those slave terms. BBC is a slave terminology that they still use in porn to this day. And so people don't understand we're still using white supremacy coded language in our everyday vernacular when we're talking about sex, especially with Black people. See, people don't understand there's coded language that is still being used to this day. So we have to break down our mindset as a people, right? And really break down these yokes and break down these chains as far as where do we go from here now?
But from that too, I think a lot of times, and I could be wrong, but I feel like because our people are trying to, get away from that stereotypes, we've kind of gone on the opposite spectrum. It's like, don't do it. Don't do this. A lady we're supposed to be like this. We have to be like this because we don't want to.
We do it. You said it on Friday. We do it for the white men, the white people's gaze. We act a certain type of way around white folks that normally we wouldn't act around ourselves. So we have to act and do a certain type of way around white people. And so we have to shift that narrative. And so that's why it's so important to have these conversations. It's not anti-white to be pro-black, right? It is pro-black to be pro-black. I am very pro-black in my thought and my process. So when me and you got together and I told you my ideas and where I come from, my ideas is always from a black woman who's dark skinned, fat, and black, right? So, and very pro-black. I'm very pro-black in my thought process and how that looks for my people. My people always come first in everything that we do. It's always about how can this benefit our people first. That's the narrative that I want to always display is how can my people benefit, number one. Number two, how is it going to look for us as a people, not for the white man's gaze, because I don't give a fuck about that. I care about how we look as a people. Is this going to be shot beautifully? Is this going to be a look for us? How is that going to look for us, right? And a lens for plus size women, right? Because we're both plus size. So I want to make sure that we're being shot and being shown in a beautiful and sexy light, right? So
yeah,
it's
but the other thing,
nuance layers. There's nuances to all of this stuff that we do, right?
Right, but it's also still like, you know, it's okay to feel sensual and it's okay to, you know, be sexual and all of that, and right. it's not where you're, you know, pushing the stereotypes of back then. No, we take it back. We, you know, and then also then you can be free and sexually free to enjoy, because a lot of people are so pent up. Right. There's so much pent up frustration because you're trying to, you know, live in this box, because you think if you do anything outside of it that you're going to be, you know what I'm saying, deemed as, oh, you're perpetuating the sexual stereotypes you know, from slavery times and that whole type of thing. It's like, so, you know, and then that makes black people a monolith again. Right. We are not a monolith. You know what I'm saying? We have all different.
What ends up, well, not just sexually, but just culturally.
Yes.
We're quick to label something as some white shit.
Right. Like we
happens.
Can't be, you
go to the museum. Oh, that's some white shit.
Right.
You're actually doing something that is increasing your intelligence, but then we're quick to say, oh, that's some white shit. I'm not doing that. Hey, let's go over here. That's some white people do that. Black people do it too.
Right. Let's ski. Know. Oh, that's white people, you know.
Right.
Well, I ain't skiing because I hate the cold, but
I'm just saying. But that's the whole thing.
People say that's some white shit. It's like, come on now. Right. You know, we're really quick to label things.
Right.
I mean, we do. It's important to understand our history and our culture. It's important to understand, you know, slavery. It's important to understand the reason for incarcerations. You know, it's a reason for everything. But when you label something white, that's when it becomes a problem.
But a lot of it has to do with the fact that as a people, right, especially black folks here in America, we have a very nuanced layers to this thing. And so we don't have the luxuries that other races do, right? Like hiking, for an example. Yeah, we say that's some white people shit, but it really is some white people shit. Like, we don't have the luxuries to just go hiking. Like, when you seen a gangster niggas just frolicking, just out here frolicking.
They do have some black like biking groups here and hiking groups and stuff, but it's, I mean, yeah, you do see in certain instances, you'll see a lot of white folks doing certain things. Right. And I think there are people, but it's the same thing about sex. The reason why we're doing the expo, right? Yeah. Because when you're black, like, and you're into kink, right? You go to an exotica or you go to some type of sex expo, you don't see other people that look like you. So either what do? You retreat back because you're like, maybe something's wrong with me because I'm liking something that other people that look like me don't like. it's not that. It's other people that like that too, but we're just all scattered everywhere.
Right.
And we, you know, and a lot of people are looking for their tribe, basically. They're looking for people that look like them, that like the same things that they like. And so our goal with the expo is to bring like-minded people that like certain things, and also people with curiosities. People are like, you know, I had thought about BDSM, or I thought about, you know, certain things, but you know, all I saw was white folks doing it. And so I just want to, I can go see people that look like me that can tell me about it, and how, you know, it's a whole community of people that's into this. Now I feel like I found my group of people. I can be a little bit more free about it. And I don't, you know, and I don't feel bad about myself or feel like I'm weird because I might like something that I thought I was the only person in the world that looked like me that liked it. Want to keep in touch with us and what we have going on? Visit our website at omgoddesses.com and join our VIP list. Check out our upcoming events. Need to add to your spicy bag? Well, click on Shop Bedroom Candy for the top of the line bath and body products, makeup, and bedroom accessories. Consider booking us for a fun, sexy, and educational show with your circle. We won't disappoint.
It was very, when we first, because I had this thought again, like, I had came up with this almost 10 years ago, this expo, and because I wanted to see people that looked like me in a space, in a lens that were representative of me, again, fat, black, and a woman, right? So I wanted to see people that looked like me. At the time, there wasn't really any sex experts that, you know, that were black. You rarely saw that. Now,
it's a lot, but a lot of them are, but it's so many of them, they're on the East Coast or they're in Atlanta or in LA. And so we want to put Arizona on the spot. I wanted to ask you something because we were about to mention something, and we got this wonderful guest. Let's use him and get all our questions out. We got this man to tell us stuff. So you were saying that men lie too to women?
Of course.
Like what? Talking about that pussy good and it ain't? Come on, what do men say? What they lie about?
I've been in those occasions. Men lie about. I don't think it's really a difference between lies that women will tell comparable to lies men tell. Because men will say, "Oh yeah, that was good. Oh yeah, I like the way you do it like that." They'll lie about it. They're like, girl from last week, she knew how to do this better than you. But at that moment, you getting some.
So you gonna say whatever to keep it, and then so you can get it next time.
Honest, I'm gonna tell you this as a grown, fully functioning adult. I'm 38. I know I look 17.
Man, be honest.
Okay.
She talking about she looks fat.
I still look 17 with better eyebrows, babe. But I would rather him to be honest with me and tell me. That makes me a better partner, a better sex partner, all that kind of stuff. Be honest. If you didn't like what I just did, you need to fucking tell me, because I'm going to continue doing that thing, and I'm not knowing that you really don't like me swirling with the tap and the buff, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't like the swirl, tap, and the buff, you need to tell me.
I don't think men would. Me personally, if I don't enjoy something, I'm going to say it.
Right.
That's me personally. I've been in relationships where when I was honest about it, it's gonna be a shorter. No, it's gonna be a shorter sexual experience.
Oh, you mean like if you were in a relationship with somebody and then you were honest with them sexually, they broke up?
Like, no, I'm saying like we might have been doing it a couple of times a week. Now we ain't doing it but once a month. Because I was
they didn't
honest.
like what you told them.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Come on, y'all. You know what? Honesty is important.
Them hoes be sensitive. You know what I'm saying? Just like men are sensitive, them hoes are sensitive too. They be out here like, oh.
And you done hurt her feelings. You done.
So what do you think the best way to so are you blunt? Like, yeah, that your coochie ain't popping the way it was? Or are you like, how do you say it? Like, what do you say to somebody?
I think what I ended up learning was there's a way of saying things. Just like if, you know, you'd be like, oh, babe, well, she's doing something. You just be like, oh,
Do it
kind of move this way. Or, you know, you kind of be like, no, what the hell you doing? Stop. You're hurting my back. What the hell? You know, instead of
so
that,
you do it with,
you kind of be like, oh, no, yeah, like kind of ride like this or roll like this or do this or, oh, yeah, I like the way you're doing this. Why don't you try this? You know, there's a way of saying.
and they still, I guess they might feel like, why he don't like the way I do it, so we're not gonna do it that often.
No, it's just if you say it, or you say it a certain way. Like if she jumping up and down, jumping up and down.
You like, what the hell?
You like, oh, what the? Oh, do it like that. You know, slow down. You know, you just kind of change the narrative. You don't say, what the hell is she doing bouncing on me like that? You gonna break one of my vertebrae or something. You know, you just say it a certain way, and then it just flows.
Me and the man sandwich, for an example. It's funny because I sent him that video of Sir and Siphon, and I asked him. I said, "Daddy, what you think about that?" And he was like, "Absolutely not. Absolutely not." I was like, "Daddy, you don't like that?" He was like, "Absolutely not. I don't want no parts of that." But then he revealed to me some more things about traumas and triggers, and he was like, "Well, to be honest with you, I don't like doing half the stuff that you like for me to do." I was like, I was like, wait a minute, hold up. I said, we doing basic vanilla around here.
Right.
He was like, no,
that's vanilla.
He was like, this ain't vanilla, babe. What you trying to do? I'm like, what we doing is basics around here. We doing 1 + 1 = 2, nigga. He was like,
I feel like we just starting, and we can get a little steamy, but we have such great pillow talk communication. We're very honest with each other. Like I'll be like, you know, okay, try this, do this. In the middle of sex, I'm like, are we doing something? I'm like, you like that? Do how you like it? You want it this way? I mean, that's how we talk. But to me, it's sexy. Like you can have those conversations, and it can still be sexy. Do you agree? Like we can be sexy about it.
It's more of a I'm trying to think of maturity,
right?
Because a lot of people sexually aren't mature to even understand what it is they're doing. They're just having sex. They don't talk. They don't ask anybody. They don't ask the person.
When I'm telling you, like with me and the man sandwich, he was like, I don't like to pull hair. I don't like to do da 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 da. And I'm just sitting there. My mind was just on blow mode because I'm just like, well, you acting like you was liking all the things because you was pulling my hair and you was smacking my hair.
But that's why it's important to have those conversations because y'all have been doing something for quite some time, and he's just unpacking that with you. So I think with us, we debrief all the time. We do stuff. We like, ooh, the way you did it.
But I think sexually too, when you're with someone, you might do things that you don't necessarily prefer. But you're going to do it just because the person that you're with enjoys. So I don't think, not saying that you should do things that you don't like.
I would never want to do anything to make him uncomfortable. And I told him that. And I said, Daddy, like, why you didn't tell me? He was like, I was just trying to, make sure you was good.
Well, it's just something.
Is there anything I'm doing that you?
No, what I'm saying is that you could have like 20 different sexual positions that you do with your partner. Mm-hmm. But you got your top 5. Mm-hmm. But you're gonna do the other 15. Mm-hmm. You could probably do without the other 15. Mm-hmm. But you still do those things because you're pleasing your partner.
So is it that you wouldn't like those 15 or you hate it, or you just like, I'm cool with this little routine right here, but let's try some other things. Cause I want to try some other things though. I want variety.
It's
We do have
that,
our
though.
go-tos, though,
Yeah,
don't we?
you got certain things that we do. Most of the time, we can't even get to the toys because we just got certain things we do, and then that's it.
But the toys make it so much fun. We bring those in and we just say, so let's talk about toys with men, because we got a man here. What's your take on toys as a man?
I enjoy them. I enjoy toys because that means I got to do less work, for one. I mean, real
So
talk.
they help. They're an aid. It's like having a friend in the bedroom with you.
But I wish these men would stop with the shenanigans. Because Nick Cannon, a few months ago, had, said, I don't need no toy in the bed. I'm like, nigga, cut the shenanigans, nigga. You're in your 40s, and you mean to tell me you don't want to use toys in the bedroom to enhance the situation? Like, what are you talking about? Toys are not a replacement for your dick.
It's an enhancement.
It's an enhancement. It's only going to enhance the situation. So if you out here competing with an inanimate object, that just shows you that your mindset is all the way fucked up when it comes to sex. You're competing with something that can't even fucking talk.
You got specific toys
I
you
think
like?
it's more on a. Well, when I was younger, I wasn't cool with a woman having a toy. I wasn't cool with that because it did make me feel like I wasn't doing enough. Mm-hmm. But then once I got older, you realize that them toys can save your back. They can save your arms.
You don't have to be an octopus. You ain't got to touch over here, do this, kiss over here, look at that. You be like, let me put that on you and rub on that.
Yeah, that day you might only want to put 10 minutes in. You tired, worked hard.
We both tired. We be like, ooh, can we just get something that it could get us both to the point quickly? And then, and it's okay. That's some good sex too. But then, because sex helps me sleep sometimes. Right. Like it relaxes me and puts me to sleep. Masturbation sometimes puts me to sleep. You got a favorite toy or anything that you like? Your all-time toy that you like so far?
Yeah, I don't know what it's called though.
Which one is it?
Describe it.
What is
the
it?
Blue one?
Yeah.
The womanizer starlet. Why you like that one?
Because I know you're gonna get yours.
I know. Last night, it was mine. I had to go to night, nigga.
I love it when he say to me, "Get your toy."
I put it right there in my bed. You understand me? It's literally right there by my remote.
This is hilarious though. I sometimes like my babe is tired. He works late. He gets home late. He be like, tonight ain't gonna get it because I'm tired. My buddy ain't gonna be the way you want him to be. So I'm thinking I'm being discreet. And I'm in the bed next to him and I pull out because I have my little arsenal next to me on the nightstand. So I pull out my toy and I'm thinking he's asleep. Nope. And I'm like, because I got, because masturbation helps me sleep. It makes me relax. Yep. But plus I was in the mood and he wasn't, and that's okay sometimes, my baby is tired. I understand that. So I pulled out my toy right. He was, why you tell me the other day? What you say? Oh yeah, I know you been doing that. Because all of a sudden I hear, and I was like, oh, how you feel about that? He was like, oh, do your thing, baby. Whatever you gotta do.
I'm good with it because I know I ain't gonna be able to do it like that every night, or it's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna hit the way it's gonna hit, bro.
Right.
Someday, I'm not gonna do something and it's not gonna be right.
Right.
Yeah, he be like,
because it's like,
if you tired, you tired.
Yeah, and I respect that because we have a very, very healthy sex life, which for me is a miracle because I once I hit my late 30s, I was really concerned dating older men because a lot of them have erectile dysfunction issues. It's like you done did all your partying in your 20s, drank, didn't take care of yourself, and now you got diabetes and high blood pressure and your dick don't work. Right. And I was really feeling discouraged dating, and I did not want to be a cougar. I do not want to be a cougar. I mean, no problem. You know, I'm no disrespect or anything.
All respect.
If you
all
want,
respect.
if you want to be a cougar, that's a wonderful thing. I wanted someone that we could vibe with from, you know, a cultural perspective, from an intellectual perspective. And that was another thing, meeting dudes and you talk about politics or you talk about stuff and they be like, huh?
Right.
Oh my gosh. When I met Santee, I'm like, we could talk about politics. We could talk about so many different music. He's taught me about sports and things like that. So I needed somebody that I could vibe with that, because that, to me, that turns me on too. You know what I'm saying? And you can stimulate my mind too. That's hot. I'll be ready to jump your bones. And we was just talking about some shit that wasn't even sexual at all. Okay. But I keep running into these men. It's like, it got to the point, part of my dating question was, do you have diabetes? You got high blood pressure? And they be like, why you ask me that? Because I know your dick ain't gonna work. Period. And I was discouraged. I don't have this problem.
I've had that question.
Right, because it's happening. I don't have that problem with him. Sometimes I'll be like, damn, you going too long.
Until I talked to you, I didn't realize exactly what it was. Because I've had women ask me, hey, you got high blood pressure, you got diabetes, and I was like,
now you know why.
Right. And it kind of crossed my head one time because somebody had asked me, do you be taking those pills? And I was like, what pills? And I was like, no, I don't take that.
Viagra?
Yeah. So,
yeah. Listen, when I tell you, because, you know, I knew, like you said, I knew this was my king. I knew this was my husband because he was just everything, you know, just everything all in one package. And then we have such great communication. Such great communication. And so I feel like I just married my best friend.
That's extremely important. That's very important. If you can't talk to the person that you're not gonna know what it is that they want anyway. Whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally, you're not gonna know. It's not really in the relationship.
Right. No, it's just for me because I'm single, so you know, and I announced a few years back that I'm polygynous. So I want a sister wife because, you know, 9 times out of 10, I know that my partner's going to have children already. So I need help with these kids, man, and wrangle these baby mamas because ain't nobody got time for that. Because I'll cuss a bitch out real quick. Ain't nobody got time. So I already know that 9 times, because I only date black men. So it's a very rare occasion that you will find a black man and he don't have kids. So I already know that I'm going to have somebody that's going to have children, whether they're older or still elementary school age, which is fine. I'm fine with that. So, but I'm trying to find my person. I want to find my person, but he has to understand that I do this, right? And he has to be comfortable with the fact that I do what I do, because I'm not going to change what I do to make you comfortable,
right?
And he has to be comfortable with the fact that I talk about sex and I'm a sex educator and I talk about dick sucking all day and, you know, all that kind of cool stuff, man.
So I know we kind of touched on this before. So because you talk about him, but you're polygynous. So if you meet somebody and he has children, do you want him to already have a partner? Or do you want him to not have a partner and you guys work on y'all dynamic first and then y'all bring another person in?
I would prefer it be me first, and then we find somebody together. That's what I would prefer, that dynamic. But if that doesn't happen for me, that's cool.
So you would be willing to come into a already like established marriage, and then they're like, we want to bring somebody else in. They have kids, and you come in, and it's just the whole. Yeah. You know.
But my preference would be
you be first.
Me be first. Us get married, and then find, you know, the second wife. And I've talked about this not only on a podcast, but just in general, my reasoning behind me wanting to be polygynous, and why I think that's important. So, yeah, no, like, I want to find my person, but he also has to understand my reasoning behind what I do and why I do what I do, and me being pro-black, and that was also my reasoning, because there's not enough black men to go around, right? And I only date black men, so there is no other option for me. I'm either gonna be single or I'm gonna be with a black man. There's what the third option is. Ain't no other third option, because I ain't dating no white man, so that's out. Sorry, Brad. You not it, bro. I can't. No, I'm not. Like, no. I get this running joke. Oh, you gonna be with a white man? I'm like, don't tell me. God gonna send you a white man. Now, why would he do that?
What you like? So is that a blessing or a curse?
Right.
It's like,
they're like, oh,
especially if you pro-black, is that a blessing? You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't get me wrong. People who date white men or white women, black, you know, that is your preference if that's what you do. Or some people, they say, you know, I just fell in love with the person.
I ain't in love with no Brad. I'm telling you that right now. It's just not. There's nothing like a black man, and I tried to explain that to these dodo birds out here that want to date interracial. If you date interracial, that's cool. Do you boo boo? But me over here, that's not even an option. So I'd rather die first before I date outside of my race. That's not even an option for me. I know that's very, extreme, but it's a part of me and my pro-blackness. I cannot turn that off because of some love. What love don't pay no rent around here, Jack? What does love do? Love is love, cool, but does it pay the bills?
So what's your reasoning? You said because there's not enough black men.
There's not.
And so you feel like
because we have incarceration, most of our men are incarcerated.
Dead.
Right? So
a lot of them are killed.
I've dated and I've been with two men that are incarcerated. That shit is hard as fuck. My last relationship, which you know about, the man sandwich, we not gonna speak his name. It's like Voldemort. We don't speak his name around here. He's incarcerated. That shit is hard as fuck to be with somebody that is incarcerated.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It is not easy to be with, because they're like children. They needy as hell. They want shit all the time. Hey, I ain't got no money on my books, man. Oh, okay. What do you want me to do about it? What would you like me to do? Put some money on my books, babe. Huh? I just paid all my and they don't understand that shit. They don't understand about bills and responsibilities and all that kind of, because they've been institutionalized for 10, 15, like he's been in.
And the bottom line is it becomes about them. Right. You know, they're in their own world and they don't think like, well, life still goes on outside of your own little world.
Right.
And every dollar can't come to you. I know that you need, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that I understand. And so your whole thing is that women are going to be sharing men anyway, pretty much. So why not be on the real with it?
Right. I would much rather share my man voluntarily
than involuntarily.
Right, let me tell you something about me, Jack. I'm a psychopath. So if I find out that you doing some slack, because I watch the Criminal Minds now, because this one right here be asking me, "This now what you watching?" It's either cartoon,
Criminal Minds. I love Criminal Minds
because I'm plotting on the niggas in my house. Okay, I'm plotting. I'm trying to see how I can get away with getting rid of the body. But
unfortunately, they all get caught on these shows. So forensics is a motherfucker.
Right, so I'm like, okay, how can we scrape this body up without trying to, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so my thing is, I never want to fight another black woman in the street. I never want to put myself in a compromising position to where I'm embarrassed, she's embarrassed, and now we gotta fuck this nigga up.
First of all, I ain't fighting no chick on the street. I've been cheated on, and I never, even if she knew who I was, I wasn't going to step into her. I was stepping to the one that had the covenant or relationship with me. So you ain't gonna never see me fighting no chick on the street. Now, one chick, when I call her cheating with my my man at the time, we worked together. And I wasn't going to say nothing to her because I know he was lying to her, telling her we wasn't together. She stepped to me and said some foul shit. And that's when I wanted to sock her in her jaw. But it wasn't because of, you know, if she would have came to me and be like, girl, I didn't know. I'd have been like, I understand. And I would have kept it going. She came to me and was really foul with it. So these y'all women out here, y'all gonna be foul about some shit that you knew and you was wrong about, or even if you didn't know, but you gonna step to somebody wrong. And now, bitch, I'm fighting you. But it ain't because of this nigga. It's because of something.
You just being disrespectful. Don't get popped in your face, hoe.
But I didn't do it because we was at work, and I ended up. What was so deep is when it happened, I told my boss that some shit was going down. I said, but I'm not gonna. I said, I'm not gonna approach the girl. I said, I just want you to know because I don't know how she is. I'm about my business. I'm not losing my job over no dick. Fuck that. Okay, especially some foul dick. He was wrong. Okay.
Community property.
So and so when she came in the office, because I had friends and I was crying. I had came straight to work after I caught the dude cheating. I had a couple people I confided in. She was going around telling everybody what happened and trying to explain her side. And everybody was sitting there. And I remember one girl was like, bitch, you lucky it was Nisha because I'd have fucked you. I was like, damn. And so she kept going around trying to explain. She almost lost her job because they had pulled her to the side and said, Nisha already told us that she wasn't stepping to you. Why are you wasting work time running around trying to explain your story about some outside shit? But I was just like,
I'm surprised HR didn't get involved because that could have been some HR, you know.
The director was my soror too, which was deep.
Okay.
So literally, I told people, the leadership, because I wanted them to know this is my job. I am not approaching anybody. But some things happened. I said something jumped off and I don't know this person. I'm not going to approach them. I was trying to protect myself. And they went around and they was trying to make the topic and explain to everybody. Because, you know, people was looking at them like, that's that bitch. You know, because in work, I don't know if y'all know this, but in workspaces, especially in black workspaces, it's like, all my children as the world turns. I swear, because it's so much drama at work. I remember we used to sit there in the call center and be like, ooh, one chick on the call center, her husband called the 800 number. This is we dealing with cell phones. Called the 800 number and was like, put my wife on the phone. Cause I want to talk to her about that, her work husband up in there that she, it was like, so everybody knew. So at work, it's always so much drama, but, I totally understand that it's like, because there's a lot of women out here that are in, polyamorous relationships and don't know, which is unethical. So that's why we're going to be talking about ethical non-monogamy, because a lot of black people now are starting to look at those options. Like you're looking at polygyny. People are looking at, you know, all different types of options when it comes to relationships. And it's just really about being honest about what you want and being honest with your partner and let them make the decision. And you're going to take that risk that they might say, I don't want to do it. And they might have, you know, go their own way. But then at least you live in your truth and they live in their truth.
Cheating is a motherfucker because, again,
it's hurtful. It's painful.
Because, again, my how I grew up, you know, in my upbringing, my father cheated on my mom, and she took him back, and then he cheated again, and she took him back. I've been there. And then the final straw, you know what I'm saying, was the last time, you know what I'm saying, and she finally was like, no, and put her foot down and, you know, kick that nigga out, you know what I'm saying, but it did a toll on my mental psyche because I saw so much unnecessary bullshit growing up as a child. And so I just, for me, it was just like the divorce really broke me. And I just wish that people would understand that if you gonna be out here slanging pussy penis out here in the world, stop all the lies, bro. There's no need to sit up here and lie. You know what I'm saying? If you gonna be out here doing whatever you do, stop lying.
But I have a question. Do you feel like some women might be okay, like if their husband came to them and was honest and did that some women might be okay with it, but they get concerned about other people finding out? Or do you think a lot of people's like, I don't want to be, I don't want to have that type of, do you think more people would have been okay with that type of relationship if honesty were the case, and I guess they just had to keep it quiet? You know what I'm saying? Like, some women might have been like, go on out there and do that, because I ain't sleeping with you that many times. Or do your thing, but just be honest. Or do you think society gets us caught up in the whole cheating? Like, oh, if he cheats on you, then you know what I'm saying?
I think it's both, because look at what happened with Nia Long's situation. He's sitting up out here, and it's always the most mammiest looking, ugliest piece of things. And
I don't think she was ugly though. The one that they said, I didn't. Was she ugly?
She was looking like
I didn't.
Well, the one that I didn't know for sure who it was. It was people that but that's not the issue. Why do people always think that they have to be the way the person look when they cheat?
No, it's not even about that. This is the thing, though, right? It's like you go from, because I've been cheated on multiple times, right? And when I asked, the first time I got cheated on with my ex-boyfriend, and she was a sea wolf. She was a sea wolf, and she was out here presenting herself all kinds of fucked up. And I was like, wait a minute, time out. And I'm like, baby.
Wait, we got a man here.
Yeah.
So the whole cheating thing, it's really not about the person that they cheat with. It ain't really about how they look, is it?
It depends on the situation. Because it could be accessibility. It could be
emotion. Maybe they listen to you.
It could be a whole bunch of different things.
But when I asked him,
I think the person is automatically planning on cheating.
Right.
It's just when it becomes available.
I said, so why are you cheating on me with this sea donkey? What was the purpose and the point? And he told me it was financial. She had money in her pocket, and so she was giving him things. And so, and at the time, I was in my early 20s. I was like 23, 24 at the time. And, she was a sea wolf, sis. What am I supposed to do? If you out here with ashy kneecaps and some pedal pushers on and no bra on, and I'm looking like, you see me? You know what I'm saying? And you out here looking like how you looking, and you got your kids in the car. That was so embarrassing. She over 40 with her kids in the car. The baby's hair not on. They still walking around ass. She got sleep on in their mouth. I'm like, baby girl, at least come out here looking presentable. If you going out here talking about I'm sleeping with your man and I don't care and the dick is still good and I still want to ride and stuff, and I'm like, and she got embarrassed, like, because I told him, I said, I said, what you want to do, nigga? Basically, he was like, I'm sticking with you. And I was like, and all the time I'm plotting. Because I'm a Scorpio, because I plot.
Plotting and scheming.
Yeah. I'm plotting the nigga's demise in my head. And I'm like, And I told her, I said, well, he don't want you. And she's like, well, I don't care about y'all little relationship. I just want to get in where I can fit in. I said, oh, this bitch got low self-esteem too. I said, I can't deal with that. I cannot deal with that. The man said he don't want you. The man said he just used you for some tickle pickle and some financial ruin. Like, that's it. And you out here being a sea wolf. It's just a mess. I'm like, get in your little Honda Civic. They ain't got nothing. Go back home and pray for you to get you your own man, girl. So, but he didn't know that I was, in my mind, I'm like, okay, how many ways can I, get rid of this body. You know what I'm saying? He didn't even know that. So after all that, I was like, walk me to the bus stop. So he walked me to the bus stop. I said, you know you done fucked up, right? He was like, babe, I love you, babe. I'm like, oh, that's so precious. Oh, that's so precious. That's so cute. We broken up. You done fucked up. Bye. And I got on that bus, and he was like,
after he broke up with the other chick, he ran back to her. She gave him the sleep wolf. She got back with him.
Probably did.
The sleep wolf got back with him.
And this nigga came to my
Wait,
job.
you look at me like, hell yeah, he did, didn't he?
This nigga came to my job a few weeks later begging. He calling my phone begging. So he was like, she ain't answer the phone, so I'm going to come to her job. She going to have to answer me. So he come to my job, and I'm like, you don't come to my job where these white people is looking at me? You don't come to my job, nigga? So I had a screwdriver, because I told you I'm a psychopath. Listen, he had flowers and candy and balloons and shit. I had a screwdriver in my hand. I was like, get your motherfucking ass outside. So he was begging. I love you. Pop, 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 pop.
To all the balloons.
All the balloons. He was like, babe, get your motherfucking ass out my facial hair, nigga. Get out of my face. But leave the chocolate. Get these raggedy ass flowers and stuff. No, but again, it's about if he would have kept it 100 and been honest, of course I would have been like, no, because at the time my mental capacity wasn't prepared and ready for no shit like that. But had he been honest, I would have been give me the choice to either stay or leave. And that's what I be trying to explain to these dodo birds out here.
So you think if men do that, like if a man comes to his wife or girlfriend a long time and they've been monogamous or whatever, and then he says to her, you know, I want to try something different, or I want to, you know, I want to date other people. Let's talk about this, to give her that option. Do you think some of them may consider and be okay with it? Or do you think, I think sometimes some people might get caught up in society though, like, oh, because if other people find out, they gonna think I'm a stupid ass bitch or whatever. And then that's what holds people back on that.
But look at what happened, like with Insecure in season 2 with Molly, right? When Dro presented that situation to her because they were in an open marriage, right? And nobody knew that they were in an open relationship. And so they had been friends for years, since what, high school.
But wait a minute, I can't remember. I have to watch it again. I thought he was lying.
No, he wasn't lying.
The wife knew.
The wife
knew. Because I know people do. Okay, I couldn't remember.
Because he told her, he's like, no, my wife presented this to me. My wife wanted to
have an open relationship.
And have an open relationship. But she you know, she knew about their relationship and everything. Because look how uncomfortable. Remember at the birthday party,
she showed up and she was uncomfortable.
And she was just like, hey girl, how are you, girl? Like, what's up?
Because she knew she was fucking her husband.
Yeah. So, you know, because again, fucking in the friend group. Like,
yeah, no.
Right.
So if you gonna do that shit, don't shit where you eat. I believe that. Like, don't be fucking doing that in your friend group. Find other people, or have a whole, have a whole nother thing. Because it's like, if something goes wrong,
right? Because it did.
It messes up the whole relationship.
It wind up blowing in Molly's face because she thought that, he was going to pick her in the end. And it was like, nigga. No.
He told y'all it was an open relationship. And part of the reason why he loves his wife is because, you know what I'm saying, they have that communicative, that dialogue, that communication. They've agreed to have this kind of. They did. I remember in the last season, I think they divorced.
They wind up getting divorced because probably something that went on. Somebody wasn't being
honest. Because people don't think in those type of relationships that they're still not cheating.
Right.
Anytime there's deception, you lie, you don't tell the truth, or whatever, even in open relationships, there can still be cheating.
Right.
Yeah.
It's very important that we be honest. That's the word of the day, is honesty. We need to be more honest with not only ourselves, but in our relationships, in our whether it be in business, marriage, whatever,
Marriage, everything.
right?
Yeah.
Everything. You have to be honest. You have to have the conversation, whether it be uncomfortable or not. You know what I'm saying?
I got a question for you. So, because usually, like, a lot of men, they probably, the issue a lot of times is, I'm not gonna say that, because a lot of women are, they cheat too. Do you think if men were more honest instead of being, cheating, they taking that risk and being honest, like, do you think that more women might be open to it now?
I have no idea on that. I mean, I don't even know how to respond to that, because you have to know the person to literally tell them, hey, I still want to be with you, but I want to be with somebody else, or yeah, that's a recipe for disaster right there.
You feel like people, it's a fear, so they just sneak and go behind the back because they still have feelings. They care about this person. They don't want to hurt their feelings, but they're really ultimately hurting their feelings by going behind their back.
I think it depends on the person that you're with and how well you know that person. Because I was in a relationship that she knew that I was cheating. She knew that I was. And it was very obvious. It was extremely obvious.
You was being sloppy.
I was extremely sloppy. I wasn't trying to hide it. I mean, and literally, it was in my DJing days, but I would go out. I wouldn't come back till the next day, like 8 o'clock in the morning. And
the
club closed at 2.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Where you at, nigga?
Smelling like Irish Spring and shit.
I wasn't even smelling like Irish Spring.
Oh,
no. I was smelling like what I did that night.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Or the morning, or whatever. I was out there with it.
Wow.
I was very blatant with what I was doing.
But y'all never had the conversation. Like, you never said, she never said to you, I know you doing your thing, just be safe or be careful, whatever. Or
she
you never
asked me to stop.
Yeah. Oh, she did.
She asked me if I would stop. I said, yeah, well, you do this, and this. She didn't do this, and this. I was back out. Hey.
You hear that, ladies? You gotta listen. If your man asks you to suck it, twist style with a turn top and with 2 bottles and a cap, you gotta do that shit. Because let me tell you something. What you won't do, another bitch will do. And it's the old saying go. If you not gonna do it, guess what?
But when you think about it, sometimes it's like, then should you even have been married or stayed married?
Right. Mm-mm. But it's important.
Because if you can't be honest and be like, this is what I'm going to do, you either okay with it, you not, or we need to go our separate ways.
But I tell women this. I'm like, oh, I ain't no Susie homemaker. I ain't cooking. I ain't doing all this. I say, okay, nigga. Guess what? You gonna find yourself with no husband.
Well, you'll find yourself with no husband that like that. Like, right. The problem is vetting. People don't vet in the dating part. They don't do the right vetting.
Right.
Like, y'all should be like fantasies and things you want to do and all that shit should have been had before you said I do.
Right.
Like, I think we talked about many scenarios and our past, and we were open about stuff and our fantasies and stuff. That was shit I told you that I ain't never told no dude, because I knew I was gonna be judged by, the things that I felt. But then a lot of that came with my own maturity too, because I was always, I was insecure. I didn't know, or I didn't understand, or what I liked, or I liked something, but I was told it was wrong. So I didn't want to share that, a whole type of thing. But, I'm a totally different woman now. So you like whoever, I was with 20 years ago, they got a totally different woman than the woman that you have now. And I'm sure the same with you, like who you had 20 years ago, they got a total, I got a totally different man,
You'd have had a problem with me 20 years ago.
You would have had a problem with me too. If we probably wouldn't have like, I think we found each other at the perfect time, at the same level of maturity, everything. But we talked about some stuff. That's how I knew I was okay with marrying you. And we weren't together for 2-3, everybody's like, y'all should be together for 2 years, 3 years before And I'm like, I do know. I know him. First of all, he was intentional in saying he was looking for a wife, which that's because on these dating sites, you meet these guys, they like, yeah, they intentional, and they're not.
They intentional with getting some box.
Right. And then the second thing was that we talked, like he was like, yeah, back in the day, this is what I did. This was my past. I was this. He was like, I want you to know everything because I don't want shit to pop up and you be like, you ain't tell me or whatever. Right. Same here. I was because he was open and transparent. I was very open and transparent. But we talked about our fantasies and things that we want. We talked about, what about somebody else in the bedroom? Could we do that? Could we do? I mean, we talked about all those things. Right. And so when we got married, we knew what we were getting into. We knew what we were getting, who we had with each other. And a lot of people don't do that. And then they want to act, and then it's shock and awe. Or a person who tells them, well, I was always like this. Well, you didn't tell me you were this person when we were dating. Well, so vetting is the key.
Niggas show you they representative.
Well, everybody got a representative when they first start dating. You know what I'm saying? So you got to get past that.
Right. Just you showing your representative, and it's basically, you got to ease on in and show them the real you. Like, listen.
I think we just leaped in and gave.
You gonna get me from the real very beginning.
No, it was. I mean, even though I had several dates before, but yeah, I knew it was just the openness, the openness, whatever. My words, my tongue's twisted right now. But we were very open with each other, and before we even met each other. Talking 2, 3, 4 hours a day about everything. So that's what made it different. That when we actually did meet each other in person, we had already had so many conversations that.
That's why he got it on the first date.
I went 30 days later.
Our first date was a month later, but we had so many conversations with each other that I felt like I knew him, and I straight up called him. And what I say, I was like, hey, I know this is our first date, but you gonna get some. But I want to go on a date first. I want to go eat. We gotta go. I was like, we gotta go out first.
You gotta go and give me some garlic bread.
Right. I'm like, I want some food first, because I know if I'd have came in there and we started, because the attraction was there. We were so like, we had been ready, but I knew it was gonna be on. I didn't even call. I think I called Jay. I was like, Jay, am I a hoe? Cause I'm all good. I'm giving him some. She said, bitch, you grown. You ain't no hoe. Go on and get that dick. I was like, okay. And it was good. And then I just knew. I was just like, we just had so much fun together, and we liked the same things, and just. And then I've been here 15 years. I meet somebody from Detroit. Right. I'm from Detroit. I'm like, all these niggas out here that I meet by Detroit one. And he wasn't in the Detroit circles, He was, he just got here,
Brother's a lone wolf. Like, he don't be with the shenanigans. Like, but I knew, like, because I told you, I said, and I predicted this. I said to you, sis, you're going to get married before me. And you were like, nah,
I'm a golden girl.
Right. But I told her, I said, no, you're gonna find your person. And you're gonna find your person, at a most unexpected time, and it's gonna be the right person for you, and it's gonna be a very quick situation. I told you that.
Mm-hmm.
And so as soon as I met brother-in-law right here, as soon as he walked through the door, I said, "Oh, there go Nisha's husband right there." I said, "Oh, okay, nice to meet you, brother-in-law. Nice to meet you." I was very like that. There you go, right there.
Mm-hmm.
And you literally called me from the car when I first met him. You like, sister, I like him. I said, why are you crying? Because I don't want to. I just want to be better. I said, bitch, calm down, bitch.
She could be telling all my little crying moments.
Yeah, because you be crying.
I know. I'm a punk.
I already know you be crying.
I do.
I'm sorry. I just gotta check this out.
He a sports man. He trying to figure out them sports
Both
scores.
my teams playing today.
Yeah. Well, we almost. I'm gonna get you to your sports bag.
You be crying, friend. I be like, stop the shenanigans and just let it just flow. Just let it vibe. Just let it work out, and it's gonna be all good. And sure enough,
30 days later.
it was just a wrap from there. But like I said, I knew that you were gonna find your person before I found my person, and I knew that you were gonna get married before I found.
I didn't know none of that because I really was under the impression that I was gonna be a golden girl. I told all my friends, when y'all retire, if any of y'all still single, just move into one house. Let's, you know what I'm saying? We pay all the bills. We pay for everybody to clean and cook, do all that stuff. And we travel the world. And that's what I was preparing for. And right when I did that, that's when I met you. And you fucked up, right? You know you fucked up because that's it.
Oh, no doubt.
For life.
That's it. I ain't going nowhere.
But I knew that he was different from the other one. Again, Voldemort. We don't say his motherfucking name around here. But I knew he was different because I had met the other one. I only met him one time, and I looked at him. I said, "Oh hell no!" But I didn't say. But in my mind, I was like, "Yeah, no, that ain't it." He was a very nice person, but it was just
no vibe.
But brother, like he met the whole group for the first time, and I was like, I like him. He quiet. He don't say much. He be cool. He be in the little corner smoking his little thing. You know what I'm saying? He be having his little cocktail. As long as Santee got a cocktail in one hand and a smoke in the other, and some sports on, he good as hell. And he don't eat much, so he have a little nipple of this, a little nipple of that, and he good to go. But I was like, I gotta test him out. I said, let me cook some. So I cooked for Mama for her birthday. Mama requested some smothered chicken, some macaroni and cheese, some cabbage, and some dressing. Brother ate that whole meal. He was like, "Oh, sister can cook." I didn't get fat for nothing.
Right, because this is like, well, I could, if I want. I don't like to cook. That's not my thing. That's not my judge.
That's not your
but
country.
I can follow a recipe or do something like, or when you taught me how to do the shrimp and grits, them shrimp and grits was good as hell, wasn't they? So I never say, like, I used to be like, I can't cook. I'm not going to say I can't cook. I think anybody nowadays, if you got access to the internet, you can cook. Because it's every recipe on the book. Now, if the recipe suck, or if you can't read, then that's when you have a problem. But if you can read and you can follow instructions, everybody can cook.
Cause she was looking. And
I just don't like it.
She was looking when I was chopping up stuff, and she was asking questions. Like, okay, so she really wants to learn how to cook for her husband. So I'm gonna teach her a few little tricks of mine. I said, sis, I don't use no recipes. So get that. And
see, that's me. I'm not one of them people. I literally have to follow a recipe. I'm not one of the people that, let me try some cardamom or some sage and shit. I don't know that shit. I don't know taste. I cannot do it. You need to tell me how to do it. How many cups it is, how many teaspoons or tablespoons. I can't do it. I'm not that bad in the kitchen, am I? When I
haven't had
cook,
anything.
we eat out like
think
that's
that's
the
like-
empty nester life.
Right.
I think it's like one thing you cooked that I was like, oh no.
What was that? Damn, so I don't do it
was one, I
again.
don't even know what it was. It would just happen to be one thing, and it was like, oh hell no.
I ain't cooked it again. I was like,
No,
I think
luckily you
I
didn't.
think
I
I
don't
said
know
it
what
was
it was.
it sucked too. Then I
I think
probably
you probably did.
I've made something and I was like, yeah, this ain't really that good, but we gonna eat this shit because I did already cooked it.
Mhm.
But
I think I ate
and
it.
it was
just
probably
'cause
something I tried to make off the top of my head. If I make it off the top of my head,
I think I
But
ate
half
it just
the
because
shit
I ain't feel like
did
going
that
nowhere.
day was off the top of my dome.
but you are a chef,
Yeah.
okay? And
Yeah.
and then people who are not chef, there are some people who love to cook. First of all, my mom was impatient.
Right.
So when I was in the kitchen and she wanted me to do stuff, and then I'd be like this, she'd be like, just move out the way. I got it. That was mama. And then my grandmother down the street, I remember she always used to say to me, I wish I had learned you how to cook. I'm like, taught me how to cook, grandma? She'd be like, I wish I had, but I think she had like maybe a 3rd grade education basically.
Right.
But my grandparents, even though my grandfather, I think he had an 8th grade education or something,
Wow.
but they were fiscally responsible.
Right.
They knew how to work as a team. They had their shit together.
Right.
And they grew up during the
Depression
era. So my grandmother, like, they were very frugal. They would plan how they were going to work. She'd take a second job or take another job, and they do that. And I couldn't believe the money that they ended up with and stuff off the little salaries that they had.
Mhm.
And they just knew how to be good with their money. So it's not always about school and books and the
Right.
level of education, because I
Right.
done met some dumb people with
Ooh.
degrees. but just I do want to cook more. I'm trying to get healthier. Part of the reason why I want to get healthier is for because we just got together and I want to be with him for like, I want us to have a long, healthy life together. I don't want to retire and then we can't do what we would,
what you want to do,
because we got a whole bunch of health issues and we
Right.
can't go nowhere and do nothing. And we're not going to wait till we retire. We're actually going to be doing trips and things. And we're going to do some sexy trips, y'all. So, definitely follow us. But for health, for longevity, for wellness, even for sexual wellness, like I want to do yoga and stuff like that because I want to put my leg behind my head for you, baby.
Count me out for that. I ain't doing it.
I want to do some sexual Olympics with him.
I ain't doing none of that shit. I'm a lazy hoe. Listen, I give you these 3 little positions, and I give you a little side pump, little back pump.
No, you don't get a side pump and the back pump. Hell no.
This back pump and that.
But you wait a minute. But you'll get that blowjob though, won't you?
Yeah, I'll do that. But I ain't.
And do it well too.
No, the man sandwich don't get that. He gets half-ass bullshit from me.
What?
Yeah. Very half-ass.
Okay, I'm about
Because
to be
he's a
real.
man.
I'm about to be
He's a
real
man
transparent.
sandwich.
I'm
Yeah.
about to be real transparent. This one right here, my jaws be hurt like because I've been so into it. I'm like, I gotta do it right. Every time I want to get into it.
Your husband.
Right, but wait. I was like, but I would stop because I'd be like, my jaws hurt.
Right.
And I was like, because sometimes I have to, you're supposed to relax your jaw, but I'd be so intense because I want to give him like the best blowjob ever. And then I do a suction thing with it and everything. And he was like, you ain't got to do all that. Just up and down.
Right.
And the whole time I was doing it, I felt like this is a bullshit. But he was like, this feel amazing. And I was like, just up and down and up and down. And I was like, this is a lazy ass blowjob. But he was like, I don't want your jaws to hurt, baby. You could just do it like that.
Right.
And the whole time I felt like so mediocre in my blowjob skills.
It did feel good the way you was doing it. Just like that. I wasn't telling you that.
I felt mediocre. I was like, just
But like I did last night with the demo, there's a way to do it where you don't have to do it up and down, up and down. That's why all the men in the room were like, oh shit, what
Well,
she
you
doing
know,
over there?
I
With the twist and the
I
thing.
twist.
Right.
I twist. I love it. I play with the head. I know
Right.
that, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because that's like the sensitive spot.
Mhm.
I don't miss the balls. We
Right.
get the balls right.
Right.
They're you know what I'm saying? And we don't want to leave them out. But because when I do it, like, I like to make my mouth feel like I want it to, like, it's gotta have a suction feel like, and then I always like to make my mouth super wet like a pussy, you know, that whole type of thing. But
oh, that ain't necessary.
he was like, that's not necessary.
That's not
He was like, just go, because he was like, I was like, I'd be like, okay, my jaw's hurt. First of all, he is not a 2-minute brother, straight up, period. And then when it comes to oral, what did you say about oral? It's like it's a hang up because for so many years, what? Go ahead.
Yeah, can't come in a woman's mouth.
A lot of women didn't want him to come in their mouth. So it became a mental block. Like, I can't come because, then the woman gonna get mad. So now here I am on a mission trying to get him to come. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like, so it's that. Plus, he ain't no 2-minute brother anyway.
Right.
And so I'm like, okay, my jaw's hurt. Now, I love to give head. Love it, love it, love it. Never had no complaints. I've always been, it was like, oh, you good at giving head. But I don't want to, I like to, I want to be theatrical in it a little bit, but he was like, you ain't got to do all that. Just,
He doesn't like all the theatrics.
It's not that he don't like it. It's
Right.
just,
Necessary.
it's not necessary. And if it's like too much for me, I'm getting too tired from doing it. He's just like, you ain't got to do all that, babe. Just relax and just up and down. And I was like, but it's me in my head. So I'm doing it and I'm like, you like this shit? He like, yeah, oh shit, this feel good. And I'm like, this feel like some mediocre fucking dick sucking.
Well, it's just like when I first did oral sex to a woman. And I was doing it, like the porno stuff.
Right.
Yeah, or they be licking everywhere, but not.
You're doing all this other stuff. And then I had met an older woman. And then she was like, you doing too much. She said, what the hell is you doing? What is all that and head going all over the place and face going all up and down and
But a lot of men learn sex through porn.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where they get their sexual education from.
A lot of women too.
Well, a lot of women too, but a lot of men, because men are very visual. So when they see that, they think that that's what they're supposed to do. And so again, we just talked about that earlier about communication. A lot of women are not taught to be communicative. So we just out here just like, this is not good, but I don't want to tell them because
I'm telling.
Well, no, I'm telling niggas.
But I do it, I'll be like, listen, this is what I like, or right here, or go there. Okay, stay right there.
No, for me growing up, a lot of women wouldn't say anything.
But sometimes you don't say that. Like, I'll be like, well, you say it and you're like, but I'll be like, well, tell me what you want. How do you like it? Do you like it this way? You be like, what you doing is good. Like, he's not as vocal in terms of, I like it when you do it like this or do it like that. He's just like, what you did, that was good. That worked.
That's still me being open about it. Because if I don't like something, I'm gonna tell you I don't like it. Mm-hmm. But generally speaking, or like I said earlier, be like, you might be doing something and be like, okay, well I'll
shift it.
Yeah, everything it'll get done a certain way, so it's gonna be exactly the way I want it. That's not a problem. And
then I really love that he always makes sure he's about, I want you to get yours. But I was trying to explain to him that even if I don't like have a climax or orgasm, that doesn't mean I'm not enjoying the sex, because I can, like, the feeling, it feels amazing. You hit certain spots and you just keep hitting them in certain positions. It feels amazing. I know that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to orgasm every time. Right. And if I didn't orgasm, that, oh my God, you're a failure, or the sex wasn't good, because our sex life is amazing. I don't always come, but people think it's like a high percentage women do not come vaginally.
Right.
You know, so you got to work. That's where, like you were saying, the toys come in handy. We'll pull out a toy,
Right.
and I'll work on the thing. And I think last night we experienced mutual. Not last night, the night before last, we experienced mutual orgasm because when he knew he was about to come, I pull out that womanizer, because that womanizer in less than 2 minutes, you gonna get an orgasm. So I can pull that out, and then, you know, we work to achieve. So we both came at the same time. That shit was amazing. You know what I'm saying? But
even sometimes I don't come.
yeah, and it's still good though.
Be a good time. I tell these niggas, don't come to me with the bullshit now. Because I'm gonna tell you. So
Yeah.
you don't want to get told. Don't come to me. Because me and the man sandwich, we talk, like we have long conversations. And so I tell him all the time, I'm like, babe, that wasn't hitting the way it was supposed to hit. Like, that wasn't given. And, you know, so I'll tell him. So I tell these men all the time, so if you want to really mess with me, I'm going to tell you the truth. So if you don't want your feelings to get hurt, please don't come over here with that. Because I've learned in my years of having sex and knowing who I am and what I am in my body and what I like, now I'm open enough to have those conversations, you know. So yeah, we gonna definitely have that talk.
Yeah, I think, but what people don't understand, communication can be a form of foreplay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, y'all talk about what you like and what you want before you even do it, and then it makes for even more enjoyable sex experience, because y'all already talked about what y'all like and what you like the other person to do.
Right.
So everything in the act is all pleasing, because y'all, you know what I'm saying, you're doing what's pleasing to your partner. And I couldn't ask for a better partner in business and in marriage. I couldn't ask for better partners, y'all. Yeah.
Good time.
I know we're almost at the end, but I want to tell everybody, February 17th through the 19th, we're having a Melanated Sex Expo. Sir Marvelous of New York is coming, y'all. Y'all look up Sir Marvelous. Follow him on Instagram at Sir Marvelous Kinks. Dr. Tamara Rose, because we all about, you know, Sir Marvelous is going to talk about BDSM. He and his sub is coming. They're going to do a whole show for us. Yeah. He's also going to, you know, explain about BDSM, what it is, what it's not, because a lot of people have misconceptions, and he may take some volunteers. Yes. Also, we'll have some classes. Yes. We'll do some demos on certain things. We're going to unpack some issues within our community. We're going to talking about becoming allies to the LGBTQ community, how being, you know, not just being LGBTQ, but also being Black. What that, you know, how that impacts, that never goes away. Okay. Also, we're going to have some vendors. We'll have food trucks. We're going to Saturday night, we're going to have a sexy masquerade party. So you guys going to dress as sexy as you want to be. We're going to have some music. It's going to be a vibe, y'all. It's a vibe. So really rock with us on that. But we're also going to have some healing conversations. We have Dr. Tamara Rose, who's coming. She's a doula. She's also a womb healer. She's also a certified sex therapist. She also is an author. So we're going to talk about healing and spirituality and all of that when it comes to sex and sexuality. We need to unpack certain traumas, get out of our own way, and all of that stuff. We're going to talk about ethical non-monogamy. Again, we were talking about how a lot of Black people are getting, or people of color are really exploring those options, and we'll talk about that. Any type of kinks that people are into. So if you want to learn, if you're curious, you can come. If you're part of the kink community, part of the, if you're a sex expert, part of that whole world, this is the place to be, y'all. So definitely get your tickets at omgoddesses.com/expo. You can hear more about it. If you want to be a vendor, it has a link there where you can become a vendor with us. We're looking for sponsors because, you know, people have sex, they drink, they like toys, they wear clothes, they buy certain things or whatever. And so, you know, we can put you on the forefront and promote you. And we're going to put Arizona on notice that other markets, other people in the sex industry, we're going to, you know, our goal is to bring some of those people here, but we really want to showcase the people that are already here so that you can travel the world and people take notice of who you are. And then you can grow your community and your business as well. So omgoddesses.com/expo. Follow us on all social media. IG and Facebook is omgoddesses20. Our Twitter is omgoddesses. And
be on the lookout for
and
our OnlyFans.
Yep.
And our Patreon, because
we putting all that out there.
Yep. Because we cannot put that play party on Facebook or Instagram because that shit was live. It was too live. So.
Ooh, and just imagine when it's, you know, when it's a little bit bigger and better. We'll have a vanilla section for y'all, vanilla motherfuckers. Right. But we gonna also have an area for people who want to play or who want to explore. Because, you know, it's fun.
It's fun. It is fun. But yeah, I was sitting there thinking to myself, I said, we can't break none of this up and put any of this on YouTube.
Oh, no.
Or on Instagram. Like, the only thing that we'll be able to put on Facebook or Instagram is the actual conversation, the first part.
Well, we can put some things on Instagram and we had to
put the shadow on there,
right? Yeah, or we could put like, you know, like the little sexy pictures and stuff, but the some of that stuff.
You gonna go to our OnlyFans and be inspired. That's about the extent of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no.
And anybody that's in the kink community, sex experts, erotic poets, erotic artists, LGBTQ plus activists, please reach out to us. We want to do some collabs. Yep. Also, we have this podcast. We want to bring you on. We want to talk to you. If you got a podcast, we'd love to join and talk. You know, let's help each other. Let's promote each other. Mm-hmm. Let's all grow and let's all eat and win.
Yeah, that's the motto for 2023.
So you guys just listen to Sex, Love, and the Black Experience. And
hosted by Miss Kiki Love.
MsNeshaB with special guest Santee.
Yeah.
And thank you. You know, you'll probably come back on again.
Brother, do you have a Facebook or you want to tell people to follow you or something?
Not yet.
Okay. Yeah. We're working on it. We do have an IG. It's Meet the Bassetts. So they can definitely follow us on Meet the Bassetts. We're still growing that. We have a YouTube channel because he and I, sometimes we have really candid conversations and stuff. We're going on our honeymoon. So we're going to start videoing like our travels and things like that. Mm-hmm. So all of that is coming into play as well.
Yeah, the podcast is coming out. Fuck them kids.
We ain't calling it fuck them kids.
Fuck them kids with the baskets.
No, we let them kids when they ain't around.
Yeah, we love them, but you know, we are enjoying them not being around all the time.
Right.
How about that?
You can come over for like a ski taste.
No, we're actually, we talked about that, having the bringing the grandbabies out to maybe come hang out because we got a pool. Right. You know, we're like, they could come hang out. We didn't get Arizona experience, and then they could just
young one though
hang out in the pool.
The baby.
No, not the baby that was just born.
Yeah, but he's 6 years old.
Ooh, no.
And that little dude, it's like I already know. He'll be up there somewhere hanging. And you be like, how in the world you get up there?
Right.
That little dude he'd be all over the place.
Climbing.
Yeah, so we'll have to make sure we have that is kid friendly when they come and stuff. But and then we want the big kids, the grown ones, to come, preferably bring the kids, and then the parents will still be there, but then we'll give them a little moment, be like, y'all go away and enjoy Arizona, and then we'll take the kids for one night, and then we'll be like, okay, take the kids back.
They still at the age.
My nieces and nephews, I'll be like, listen.
Yeah.
Listen. I'm only gonna tell you this one time. Don't ask for shit. Don't touch for shit. Don't look for shit. Because I ain't giving you shit. You understand me? As long as we got that understanding, Jack, we're good to go.
Yeah.
So,
their parents got to be around.
Yeah. We'll figure something out, because we do want to, I think families need all the generations.
Right.
You need the older people to teach you certain things and talk about certain things. And older people have a little bit more patience sometimes, and the parents, and they can. I think kids get a different perspective when they have multi-generations around them, and I think that's what's missing with a lot of these generations. They don't hang with their grandparents and stuff like they used to. So we do want to be a part of any of our grandchildren's lives. Period.
Grandma now, friend.
I know, that's hilarious. I'll feel it when I meet them. I'll feel it when I meet them. And hopefully they like me. So, but thank you guys for rocking with us. And, we are finding our voice. Yes. We really are. So, give us some time. But we are building. And our biggest thing is that what will make this the greatest is to bring people on, interesting people on, to talk about your lives, your sex lives, what you've learned, what bondages you broke, whatever it is, or trauma, or whatever. Or what it is that you're doing in the community to help break those bonds, or your artistic way, or anything like that. So check out Sex, Love, and the Black Experience with Miss Kiki Love and Miss MsNeshaB. And we'll talk to you soon.
Bye, y'all.
Pew, 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 pew. Thank you for watching Sex, Love, and the Black Experience podcast. Please continue to tune in and keep watching. And follow us at omgoddesses.com. Join our VIP list. Or Facebook and IG at omgoddesses20 and Twitter at omgoddesses.